The Zoom today is Lincoln Mayor Tracy Welch. Mr. Mayor, good to see you, sir. And I know we're 16 days in now, but Happy New Year.
Thanks. You as well.
Yeah.
Glad to be here.
Yeah, for sure. Thanks for making time for us. Always good to have you on the program. And tell you what, Mr. Mayor, a lot going on in Lincoln these days. One thing we've been talking about for quite some time, and I know this has been ongoing, administrations past and even before that, 5th Street project, and trying to get some updates to that road out there. For residents in Lincoln, they know that's a pretty tough stretch on 5th Street at some places, and sounds like maybe some movement. What's going on there?
Yeah, this is the project that never ends. It started in 1996, if you can believe it.
I can't believe
We've
that.
had,
No.
yeah, we've had money earmarked for decades for this project, and the scope of the project's changed over the years. But today is the day for letting with IDOT, and unless something comes up unexpected, the project is going to move forward. So we couldn't be more excited about it. I know the people that live out there and work out there, uh, they're excited. They deserve a new road out there. They've deserved it for a long time. And it looks like we're going to finally be able to deliver that for them.
Sure. Tell me a little bit about the scope of the project now. I know like you mentioned, it's been altered several times in the last, 30 years, I guess now?
Yeah.
How about that? How about where we're at with this project? What's going to go on?
Yeah, it started out as a 3-lane road with a nice bike path and turn lane in the center and stuff like that. It's been reduced down. The bike path will still be there, but it's just dirt. If we want to come back and finish that later, we can. It is down to a 2-lane. We removed the turn lane out of there, but it'll be a completely resurfaced road, from shoulder to shoulder. We have some drainage issues that we need to address on that road from the housing areas that are out there and stuff. So we've already got that plan in place. We've been doing some preliminary work that we can do. So it's going to be probably about a 2-year project, and it's going to be phased because there's just an awful lot of traffic out there, and we're going to have to work through that. So people are going to be inconvenienced a little bit, but in the end, we'll have the road that was promised by many past administrations finally.
Yeah. So where will the work begin? Where will it end? And what's kind of the first priority in some of this stuff then?
Yeah, it'll start there at the intersection right where the bowling alley is, on 5th Street. It'll go out past Conley Road, which is, out past where Cisco is out there. So part of that is a partnership with the county. They've had some money earmarked for their section of the road as well out there. So a pretty good stretch. It'll probably be broke out into 3 phases that we're looking at. So
yeah. One of the things with that project, Mr. Mayor, was land acquisition. That's really, from what I understand, kind of slowed it up for a long time. Was just because of the scope of what they had planned. They had to purchase up all the land and those sorts of things. Will the city maintain ownership of that land, and will where you purchase be impacted at all?
Yeah, any of the parcels that we purchased will maintain those parcels and we'll own them. There were several easements that we got, and that was also part of the issue, was that we signed these temporary easements for the project, and then as we've said here, the project has gone on so long that some of those easements have expired, so we've had to go back multiple times and renew easements, and that was part of the decision to reduce the scope of the project. It wasn't just money, because that project has gone up significantly even since I've been there, but it was money, and then it was also land acquisition and stuff like that.
I didn't know that. Didn't realize that. Gotcha. Interesting. So you mentioned that the bids go out to, or the bids, or the was RFP, is that what they call them now, or?
Yeah, they'll put the work out for bid once we get the contractor in place.
Okay, yeah. So when do you hope to have groundbreaking and dirt moving?
I would like to have it done here in the spring, but we're kind of at the mercy of multiple things. IDOT allowing us to move forward. It depends on how fast we can go through the process to get a contractor in place. then they got to bid out the work to subcontractors and things like that. But I'd love to see shovels in the ground by spring.
All right, very good. Will it take all summer to get that done?
It could take a greater part of this year to get all the pieces in place and get dirt moving.
Gotcha. Very good. Very good. So,
Yep.
yeah, good news on that front for sure. Lincoln Mayor Tracy Welch, my guest on the Zoom here for this morning. Mr. Mayor, some news out of your fire department and some exploration going on as well. What do you got going on in the fire department these days?
Yeah, this past week, we talked about a new fire engine. So we do have a fire engine that's pretty old. It's over 20 years old. And when you get equipment that old, things start breaking, and then the maintenance costs just go through the roof. And so the fire chief brought this to us this week. He'd like for us to consider purchasing a new fire engine. I think the cost is 1.3 million, somewhere in that area. But here's the catch. If council authorizes this coming week, which I believe they will, we won't see that fire engine for 3 years. So that specialized fire equipment, it's on back order. So we'll put our order in, we'll get in line, and then we'll just have to make do with the equipment that we have in the meantime.
Yeah, it takes a while for sure. I remember Clinton went through that process about 10 years ago now, and it was only a year wait at that point, if I remember right. But yeah, I'm sure everything is backlogged now. Definitely. You were telling me as well, maybe doing some exploration on a new fire station. We're going through that over here in Clinton. What are you folks in Lincoln looking at?
Yeah, so if you're familiar with the layout of Lincoln, we have railroad tracks that run through the center of town for the most part. And not necessarily, it's an inconvenience for many people, but where it becomes a real problem is when first responders are trying to get to the west side of town and address emergency situations, whether it be a medical call, a fire that's going on, support of the police department, whatever that may be. So we're trying to address that barrier that we have. And we have a council member, Alderman Bateman. He's been looking into this for a while, and he's looking into what land is available on that west side of town, and is some of it available? Can we acquire it? And then ultimately, can we build a small substation on the west side of town that can house staff, it can house some of the equipment, and then they can respond quicker.
Okay. Gotcha.
Yeah.
So is there much in the way of opportunity on the west side of town in terms of land and that sort of thing?
Yeah, there is. He's got a lead on a couple good parcels out there. And what we're proposing won't necessarily take a whole lot of land. It's got to be convenient for the trucks to get in and out, not disrupt other businesses and people out there. But he's looking into a couple parcels that I think will be good.
Gotcha. So will you then split the equipment you have? Because aren't the fire engines housed downtown right now?
They are. Yeah, we've actually got we've got what we call the Hamilton Street Garage.
Yeah.
It's an old building that sits on a lot next to City Hall, and we put the fire engines in there now. So ideally, if we can get a fire engine, and this is, a wish list, but if we can get a substation on the west side, free up some space in that building, it's a very old building. It would be ideal for us to tear that down and put a new Morton building on that empty lot that we own next to City Hall.
Yeah, I was going to ask, would this secondary fire station be kind of a pole barn in a way?
Yeah, I mean, I think we can get it done with a Morton type structure.
Yeah.
But we'll just have to look. I mean, it all boils down to money and what things cost, right? So
yeah.
Because like that police station that we did, we issued bonds, and that was an old school building, our police station on Fifth Street. And I believe our bonds were like $2.8 million for us to purchase the building, which I think, if I remember correctly, we got for like 70,000, and then to purchase the building and then do all of the rehab on it. So we got almost 3 million wrapped up in that building, and that was a few years back.
Right. So, yeah. You don't want to keep stacking debt on debt, right? So.
Yep.
Right.
So that
What
that's
about
that's the game.
what about grants and such? Would there be some grant opportunities for something like that?
Yeah, there's always grants out there. We constantly are looking for grants, not just for that, but for park improvements and enhancements to the city, like the pavilion. We're looking into a grant for that. Scott McCoy, our director of tourism, he actually just got a $411,000 grant working with the Tourism Bureau for Logan County.
Hmm.
So we're putting a lot of that money into the new building and the museum and the exhibits and stuff. So
Hmm.
the money's out there. You just got to look for it and you got to apply for it.
Sure, sure. Very good, very good. Well,
Yep.
Mr. Mayor, anything on that topic we didn't get to you want to put out there for us?
Nope.
Very good. I'll
Nope,
tell you
all
what,
good.
let's break here, my friend, and come back with some more with Lincoln Mayor Tracy Welch on the Zoom with us. Plenty more to get to coming up on the morning show.
WHOW.
Happy New Year from all of us here at Baum Chevrolet Buick in Clinton and Farmer City. This is Scott Baum. Most of our customers trade for a different SUV or truck because their needs change each year. That's good because we have transportation options for you. Plus, we need your trade. Our selection of top quality, pre-owned trades come from you. Come see our ever-changing Chevrolet and Buick inventory today. Chevrolet, together, let's drive. BaumChevyBuick.com, right from the start.
Here's Matt Hart, owner of the Hart Media Group in Clinton.
It's been great. You and Ben and the entire team are doing a great job. And we're just continuing on serving the local community, right? This is what this is all about. We're here to serve our local community. We're here to tell the local stories. We're here to cover the news. So nothing in that regard is changing. Our goal is connecting people. And that's our tagline at Hart Media Group. It's connecting people.
Hart purchased the Miller Media Group in August of 2025 and looks forward to serving the community for years to come.
Now there's one web portal for local agriculture radio programming in central Illinois.
IllinoisFarmRadio.com.
Local farm programming streamed live and archived to hear anytime.
IllinoisFarmRadio.com.
Hear the morning and noon farm shows with local agriculture news and interviews.
IllinoisFarmRadio.com.
Plus, hear all of your favorite agriculture farm shows, including RFD Illinois, AgriTalk, RFD Today, and the Closing Market Report.
IllinoisFarmRadio.com.
It's agriculture grown locally, streamed live, and archived to hear anytime.
IllinoisFarmRadio.com.
A service of the Miller Media Group.
Your friend in Central Illinois, WHOW.
Once again, a good morning. Thanks for being with us. I'm your host today, Seth Lawrence. The WHOW Morning Show streams to Facebook and YouTube, brought to you by Peterson Insurance, your Pekin Insurance agent in Clinton. My guest on the Zoom is Lincoln Mayor Tracy Welch. Mr. Mayor, let's take this time and recap 2025 and look ahead to 2026. What were some of the highlights in Lincoln from your perspective in the year 25?
Yeah, I would say that the biggest thing that we did this year was probably tourism. I mean, that was a big endeavor that we took over. We were in partnership with the Logan County Tourism Bureau, and we decided to stand up our own department. Big purchase was the building. It's known as the Heartland Bank building. We're going to start calling it the Lincoln Center, that whole complex. But we bought that building. It's for the museum, our offices, and this new economic development initiative that we got going on. So that was huge. It continues to be. There's a lot of work to be done in there. We hired a new tourism director. I've had some changeover in council members since then, and everything's going well. Did some restorations and stuff on City Hall last year. We did windows, roofs, the elevator, hallways. We did a lot of revamp there. We enhanced our holiday displays and the lights throughout town for the holidays. We did a lot of that. Roads, we continue to do roads. We do that every year. The chief of police, the Safety Act still continues to be challenging for us in our community. And our chief of police has been really good about expanding what we started out as calling the Downtown Safety Initiative,
Mhm.
and it's really a surveillance system that's pretty high tech. He continued to expand on that one. We're actually just getting another camera installed here soon. Um, we continued to move forward with the dog park. We laid plans out for 2026 for the pavilion.
Mhm.
We had a lot of big things that I think we've accomplished, but we've got an awful lot more to do.
Mhm.
Um,
Really,
we got
kind of some
economic
things that took
development.
place laid the foundation for 2026. The tourism piece really lays the foundation for what's ahead in 2026.
Yeah, it really does. 2026, as many people know by now, is the centennial for Route 66.
Mhm.
And so that was what drove some of our decision was we got to get ready for this. If we're going to put our best foot forward and we're going to get people off the road, um, we got to be ready for it. And bringing in Scott McCoy as our director has proven to be one of the best decisions that we've made.
Mhm.
And the guy is a hard worker. He's got a great vision. He's well connected to Route 66.
Mhm.
And I think Lincoln is going to greatly benefit from our relationship with him. And, it's not just the fact that we have a great director. Scott loves Lincoln. He spends a lot of time here. He lives in Bloomington, but he spends an awful lot of time here. So, but you're right. We laid the foundation in 2026 in tourism. Come spring, we're trying to get this museum opened up by April 1st.
Yeah.
It's a lofty goal. We got a lot to do, but I think we're going to hit the mark.
Yeah, sure. Well, we talked about one of the big things coming in 2026, of course, is the resurfacing of 6th Street. Like we said, a project that's been long in the making, finally coming to fruition. Anything else coming
Yeah.
up in 26, whether it be streetscape work, whether it be continued development of certain areas of the community you've been focusing on? What do you have vision for 2026, Mr. Mayor?
Yeah. So I actually did an interview. Well, not an interview. I mean, we have a CEO program down here,
Right.
and I meet with the CEO students every year. And one of the quotes that came out of it I saw online yesterday was, "My vision is to move the city forward." Now that seems pretty generic and kind of everything falls under the umbrella, but what I was talking about at the time was we can't move the city forward and make this a place where everybody wants to move to live and stuff. If we're looking back,
Mm-hmm.
if we're looking at the way things have been and the way things have been done, we've got to adjust with the times, and we got to move forward and build a community that people want.
Mm-hmm.
So to your point, a lot of the stuff we've done has laid foundation for that. So for me, now that we've got tourism going, I'm going to spend an awful lot of time on economic development.
Mm-hmm.
There was a Facebook post here this week about some ideas that people could have for things for kids to do.
Mhm.
I've been kicking some of that around. So, we didn't have a chamber, and we haven't for a while. So our partnership with LEAD and the Economic Development Center's going to be huge. We've already got people in there.
Mhm.
LEAD's already in the building working. But we're going to start working on a community development plan, a strategic plan.
Mm.
We're going to get all the ducks in a row to help our businesses, not just attract businesses, but retain the ones that we have
Mhm.
and help them out. But then we also need to do some community type stuff. So there was an idea about a skate park, and I've heard about a youth center. I was looking into a youth center last year. Clinton, as you know, up there, you guys have the vault,
Mhm. Mhm.
and that place is a model for everybody to try to replicate because it's phenomenal.
Mhm. Takes
So
a lot of
I
community
wanna,
support, it really does.
it does, and I want to look into stuff like that for us. I think anything's attainable
Mhm.
if you get like-minded people together. The vault is proof of that.
Mhm.
It's not just people and volunteers, it's your businesses support it,
Mhm.
right?
Mhm.
The kids love it. I've taken a couple tours and been at events over there.
Mhm.
I'd love for Lincoln to have something like that.
Yeah, my
So
kids. I've got a kid now old enough to be going to the vault, Mr. Mayor, and she enjoys it
yeah.
immensely. So, yeah, it's a great resource. It really is. Strategic planning. You touched on there. When was the last time Lincoln embarked on strategic planning?
The last one that we had in place was 2015, I believe.
Mm. So
So
it's time.
it was, yeah, it's well past time. The strategic plan, without getting into the weeds, was a controversial topic down here. But it's beyond time that we put a plan in place. We don't need a plan only for giving us a vision for moving forward and telling us what our goals are for the community, but we need to do that to get ready for applying for grants, partnering with the county, partnering with regional planning. All of that stuff, when you go apply for grants, those are the things they ask you for. Do you have a plan in place already? If you don't, well, we're going to move on to other people that do have a plan. So that community development that I mentioned, that's kind of a new initiative that I sat in on meeting last week about. So we're going to kind of partner those two together with the strategic plan. And I think some really good stuff's going to come out of that. Now that's being led by Dorsey Hill, and she's a fellow that we have through a partnership between GPEDC and our local lead organization.
What's
But
GPE?
Dorsey, the Greater Peoria Economic Development Council, I think.
Okay.
We pay into it every year.
Okay.
And they really focus on the Peoria and surrounding areas. But Chris Setti over there and his team, I think we pay like I think right now we're paying $2,000 a year. We probably should be contributing more, but they help kind of pull us in on big initiatives that are going on, help us with economic development. They host a lot of roundtable discussions. So we get a great benefit out of that. And Dorsey's she's an example of that.
Yeah, sure. Well, we could probably talk on that topic, Mr. Mayor. Unfortunately, I am running out of time with you. So with that, how do folks learn about all things Lincoln, Illinois, keep up with what's going on in the community in 2026?
Yeah, I would say go to our website at lincolnil.gov or our Facebook page. Everything that we have going on, you can find on there.
Sure. Well, Mr. Mayor, like I said, Happy New Year. Looking forward to a full year of conversations with you ahead. Thanks for doing this with us, as always.
You as well.
Yeah, very good.
Take care, son.
Yeah, you too, Mr. Mayor. That is Lincoln Mayor Tracy Welch, our guest on the Zoom here for this morning. The morning show streams to Facebook and YouTube, brought to you by Peterson Insurance, your Pekin Insurance agent in Clinton. Network news comes your way on the WHOW Morning Show.
WHOW.
The Big 1520 WHOW Clinton, along with 92.3 FM Clinton and 106.5 FM Bloomington Normal.
News this hour from Town Hall.